Hello, I wanted to showcase my process on how to achieve shoulder deformation in Blender. To quickly summarize this video, I'll be going over the bones, and the purpose of each bone, the weight painting to showcase which bones have influence over the mesh, and retopology to showcase how the bones and weight painting combined affect it. So right now I have selected my rig. This is a Unreal Engine 5 deformation rig, but with custom bones that I have implemented myself in order to achieve the shoulder deformation. So if I hold Shift and left click the mesh, I have them both selected. And then I can go into weight paint, and right now I have the trapezius bone selected with the weight paint here. The main purpose for a lot of these bones is for them to stay in place and to allow the mesh to keep its desired form when moving the arm. So the reason why the trapezius is placed here and weight painted is so that when the arm moves, it doesn't shift it in a way that looks natural. So if I lift up the shoulder here, you can see that this trapezius bone is not going anywhere. It stays right here, and it's parented to the spine here. So if I were to press G and move it, see it deforms in a way that doesn't look right. So it's just meant to stay in place, you know, to try and keep its form. I remember Blender has a scissor volume option here, but it doesn't work so great when deforming the shoulder because it ends up kind of floating in a way because it's struggling to preserve its original form. So if I were to click it here, it kind of expands a little bit, and that you start to run into issues when you're trying to do like other different animations. Like I think the biggest one is raising the arm, or if the arms are stretched out forward. That's the huge one, because the default pose is in a pose. So that's a trapezius pose. So that's its influence, that's its purpose. It stays put right here. The next one I'm going to select here is the pectoris major. Again, just like trapezius, but to stay in place so that when the shoulder moves, it doesn't deform in a way that, you know, looks unnatural. It stays right there. I can move it around like this. I also have another bone that's overlapped it. That's the latissimus dorsi. That's the back muscles here between shoulder pad and the arm right here. And if I were to move it, see where the weight painting is, how it affects part of the mesh. So if I were to select the arm here and I were to raise it, it keeps some of that topology in place, much like everything else. So if I were to move it, you see how much outward it goes. So we'll just it stays right there, doesn't go anywhere. The same thing is also said about the deltoid here. So we have this one up here. It keeps sole purpose of this is just to have a nice smooth transition between the shoulder moving and the arm. There are 4 bones for the deltoids, and they're just meant to stay in place. Most of these are parented to the clavicle bone here that has a lot of influence. So right here, you have the front, you have the back of it right here. You have the one that's to the far right over here. That keeps a nice smooth transition. And then you have one inside the arm, inside the place for the armpit area. So if I were to showcase this, like moving it up here, and then I were to raise the arm, like so, it looks a lot more natural right here. Typically when you're moving the mesh around when you're rigging, you usually want a control rig. I have that set up on a different file, but I just wanted to showcase the deformation bones here and what they do. Alright, so that's the shoulder bone here. So if I were to raise it down here like this, you have a much more natural curve of like the shoulder here, and the trapezius. What I also have here is I used a shape key modifier to assist it a little bit. I will probably do that in another video, as the way I handled shape keys was a little more complex and difficult, but I just want to condense everything in this one video to focus on the shoulder. So I guess another example of it deforming, I'll raise it up, I'll go into top view, and I'll bend it, start turning the shoulder here as well. Try to zoom out, you can see the arms spread out a little bit. We go into solid view mode. This is kind of what the deformation looks like a little bit right here. Hard to extend this just a little bit. That's typically how the shoulders would bend going forward right here. Don't know if there's anything else I could briefly talk about regarding the shoulder rig. I guess oh yeah, retopology. I'll quickly, before I talk about retopology, I'll quickly say there's about if I check my notes, it's about 18 bones in total, so it's 9 per each shoulder. Yeah, again, the sole purpose of it is to preserve the form of the mesh, the model, as best I can. I'm not perfect when it comes to the rigging, but still kind of figuring like this stuff out. But this is as far as I've got so far. I think placement of the bones, depending on like maybe if you're doing a different model, obviously that varies. But if you're doing like more human like features, you could do this. I don't know if there's like there's tons of other tutorials that have different approaches, but this was my custom approach to it. I guess to quickly wrap this video, I'll talk about the retopology of the model for my model. So I the way I handled it was I made sure that there was loops, cuts between the shoulder and where the rest of the body is. Kind of goes like right around, like right underneath the arm, and kind of ends around there. This just for that nice sharper look. These aren't tries, or I can hide this, yeah. You see there's it kind of like is on an angle here. Not really using any triangles, just for that deformation. right around there. And then I used like a few others for, but really matter. Yeah, it pretty much covers my shoulder showcase. Um, you know, if you like this video, you know, all things algorithm likes, all that, and I'll make more videos in the future. Maybe I'll talk about the corrective shape keys and how to do that. It's that for shape keys it sounds really complex, but it is really easy once you get the hang of it. And yeah, that's pretty much. See ya.